In the middle of last week, New York Attorney General Letitia James filed a motion with the court arguing that, hey, this bond company that, paid Donald Trump's $175 million bond, we really don't know anything about their financial status. And I kind of think, Letitia James says, we need to know that because we have to make sure that this company is actually solvent and can pay the $464 million total verdict against him if Donald Trump loses on appeal and can't pay himself. And at the end of last week, Judge Arthur Engoron said, you know what? That's actually a really valid point. So yeah, we're going to have a hearing on this April 22nd at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We want you, Knight Specialty Insurance, come to New York, come into my courtroom, bring all your financial documents, and let me find out if you actually can pay the full amount of the judgment against Donald Trump should he lose on appeal and not be able to pay. This could end up being devastating for Donald Trump. Now, Knight Insurance, whatever it's called, they did release a financial statement to the court when they posted Donald Trump's bond, saying that as of December, the end of December 2023, we had, how much is it? $537 million in the bank. That's not a lot. I mean, it's a lot, but when you're looking at potentially having to pay out $464 million and you've only got $537 million, then it leaves you with possibly not enough to cover your actual operating expenses, which means you would not be able to pay the full $464 million if Trump is unable to pay it. So what this means is that if this company, which of course is run by a Trump supporter who also owns banks that bailed Trump out a couple times, if they go to court and say, we got that $537 million, the judge is going to say, fantastic. That does in fact cover Donald Trump's full judgment. But does that leave you enough money to cover your operating expenses? What is your income? What are your expenses? Is that remainder of that money, is it $73 million? Is that enough to keep your company afloat as you build your piggy bank back up? Because if it's not, legally speaking, you can't do it because you're not allowed as a company to lower your, piggy bank to the point where you can't cover your expenses. You open yourself up to lawsuits, you open yourself up to potential legal action. So that's what they have to know. And again, this year is kind of going by pretty fast now. We're well into April at this point. We haven't seen your finances for the first quarter of this year. You may have had significant losses. You may not even have $537 million in the bank now. We need to know. And again, if these numbers do not add up, or if they add up to a number that the court doesn't like, they can reject Donald Trump's bond, which means he will once again be on the clock to have to find a new company that actually has money in the bank to bond him so that he can go ahead with the appeal and all of that. In other words, if this company does not have the financial assets to pay the full amount of the judgment against Donald Trump, then it's likely the bond will be rejected and we start this whole thing all over again.